Welcome back to Talk Time Life Unscripted. Today, we're diving into the topic of layoffs, but this time we're bringing in a few new faces. In previous episodes, Keisha and I shared our personal experience navigating life after being laid off. But today, we wanted to broaden that lens just a bit. The truth is, our entire team was impacted, completely wiped out. I like to use the word decimated. So we've invited some of our former colleagues on, Lindsay, Jacqueline, Bella, to join the conversation and share their unique perspectives on what their journey looked like for them. Now, let's get into this Kiki. So, Lindsay, I will start with you because I think it's interesting that you were laid off just as you were getting ready to have a baby, which the little one is there, we can see. So, from your perspective, how was it for you, the initial announcement of the layoffs? And yeah, we hear him there. It's okay. The initial layoffs announcement, and then, um, you know, where you are now in your journey.
Yeah, so when I found out that I was pregnant, yay, we were happy and everything. But the layoff talk didn't come until around August, I think. And we found out we were pregnant in May. So at first, it wasn't a thought, everything I thought was going to be normal. We were going to apply for maternity leave and that was going to be the end of it. But then, we found out about the layoffs are actually happening that coming year. And my first thought was, okay, well, I couldn't have planned it better if I wanted to, because that way I don't have to rush back to work. Well, not knowing when my layoff date was going to be, I consulted with my senior manager and our director to see, do I even need to apply for maternity leave? Because at that point we didn't know what the end date was going to be. So we were advised go ahead and apply for maternity leave because there's no date set for you. So at that point, I thought I was doing well and we weren't going to get an end date until maybe summer of 2025.
Yeah.
So that was in around October. When I applied for it, they approved it. I went through all the paperwork with my doctors, with our HR at the company, and they approved me to be on maternity leave all the way until May 2025. And I was planning on starting that maternity leave at the end of January. So it was going to be a nice little stretch for me. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But come November, end of November, we finally get our dates. And my date is March 1st.
Mhm.
And at first, it kind of took me off guard because I was like, why would you guys disregard my maternity leave that you've already approved? I mean, I'm already planning to go on this leave and then come back and then train somebody to do my job and then I'm out. And that was going to be fine with me. I didn't mind doing that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what they had in mind. So, finding out that it was March 1st opposed to later in the summer of 2025 was kind of heartbreaking. But then I thought about it and I was like, it doesn't matter at this point. This is something that's happening for me, not happening to me. And
Right.
I was grateful for that. So they asked me to start training someone in December before going on maternity leave. And I did that. But come January, I was pretty much like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And when
Kind
I
of like
felt
we
like I
we all
was
got to
sick,
that point where we were like, I'm done. Can this
yeah,
just be over?
right. So when I felt like I was sick, I would just send an email, I'm not coming in, or I'm not signing on, shall I say.
Yeah.
And that was that. But at that point, I had trained the person, up to speed. Well, I thought was up to speed. I gave him notes and everything. If he didn't have it, I, it didn't really matter to me. You had notes, so just go back to that.
Yeah.
And I ended up leaving on maternity leave 2 weeks earlier than had originally planned. So for me, it
So
was a major plus.
did they end up honoring your full maternity leave or they cut it based on what your final day was?
It was based on my final day.
I mean, that
Yeah.
seemed, I mean, that's just completely unfair, how they
Yeah.
did that because you were guaranteed in some respect an extended maternity leave, but then
Right.
by being laid off, you suffered in that, because they basically were taking money out of your pocket. And that
Right.
just, yeah, that doesn't seem fair at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, thankfully, I've always been the person to save for a rainy day. So,
Amen.
me and the husband we are good, and I'm not rushing to get back to work anytime soon. So, when I'm ready, then I'll go back. But as for now, I'm just enjoying my little one.
Yeah, I mean, Lakeisha and I mentioned on a previous episode, the keys to saving for a rainy day, and I know that for me and probably for most of us, that's what was my lifeline. So, Jacqueline, what was it like for you? I know you recently had your last day within, I think, the last couple of weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong.
1 week, yeah. Today is 1 week. So my
Wow.
last day was April 1st.
Yeah.
When I
So,
had originally found out, it was on my birthday. I was like, well, happy birthday to me. This is great. And they had given me a February 1st date. And at first I was like, well, why am I one of the first to go? Why aren't I held in a higher regard based on my 26 years of employment with, and it
hmm
just baffled me. And I said, you know what? And like Lindsay was saying, I love what you just said. It happened for me and not to me. I didn't, haven't really thought about it that way, kind of until you just said that, which was really nice. I I went through the gamut of emotions. It was I was angry, I was upset, I was happy, I was carefree, I was wanted to curse at the world, I wanted to just give up and say forget it, I don't care anymore. My work ethic did not allow me to do that. I again have been with the company for a very long time. I valued my my company, my loyalty to the company. I thought that in some regard they were valuing me as well. Obviously corporate America, that's, you're a number, as we've
yeah,
all come to find out. I
yeah,
just never thought after 26 years I would be in this position. And I really thought that this was an end game for me. I was making really good money. I'm the breadwinner for my family. I was supporting, not just my immediate family, but other, extended family as well, based on my salary and my, benefits and things that had become accustomed to. And it was really just a smack in the face. So then come fast forward a month or two. So I think it was mid January, they come to me and they say, Jacqueline, we're really in a bind here. Can you stay another 60 days? And at that point, I was already checked out. I was like, what do you mean? No, I trained my replacement, which was the weirdest thing to me, that we are now
yeah,
having to train the people that are taking our jobs from us. And by no fault of their own, I understand that. They're just looking for a job themselves, but they're coming in like, yeah, we're happy. We got this great job. We're so excited to work with you guys. And we're like, yeah, and you're ending my 26-year career. So can you tone it down a little bit?
yeah.
So it was a really kind of a double-edged sword, but I have been working with my client for 24 of the 26 years that I had been employed here. And I, in lots of cases, have considered them friends. I've known them. They've known me my whole life. They've known me for 24 years. I mean,
Yeah.
more than half my life I've worked with this company. So I wanted to really end on a good note. I wanted to really train my replacement well, and I wanted to make sure that everything was set for the account team, for the customer, for my replacement. But it got to a point where I was just like, enough is enough. I'm done here. Like I can't do anymore. Mentally, physically, I was just done. And so now, a week later, so I stopped April 1st. Now I'm here a week, and I'm like, well, what do I do next? What do I get up every day for? What's my purpose today? I want to move with intention and move with purpose, but I don't know what that is. And it's kind of a weird place because I've been working since I'm 13 years old. I've never been unemployed, maybe for a couple months in college, but that was about it. So I don't know what this new normal is, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we've all experienced that. I mean, Keisha, you certainly, you and I have talked about that. You've experienced that. What's this new normal? So, do you want to add anything, to the conversation?
I just think, I mean, Jacqueline, you're not alone. I just think that a lot of people are trying to figure out and navigate through this new chapter in their life. And, Lindsay, I agree with you. This happened for me and not to me. So
Amen.
I
Amen.
love that perspective. So, we just have to, we're all in this new journey. We're traveling this new road. And it will come, whatever that next chapter, whatever that next page looks like for all of us. We just have to be patient and allow that to come to us. So, yeah, Bella, you're a little different than the rest of us. We are here in North America, and you were a member of the team in another place in the world. So, first, let our audience know where you're joining us from, and then we'll kind of get into your journey.
Yeah, hey guys. Yeah, thanks for inviting me to this call. I'm really excited about it. And I hope I'm not gonna get too emotional about this
It's
topic.
okay. We have all
Um,
been emotional. So if you want
it
to
was
get
really
emotional, it's
it
okay.
was really an emotional roller coaster, if I may say so. And again, I'm sorry I switched off my English for a month and a half, so I hope I still remember how to speak in English. Because
You're doing
because
fine.
yes, as you said, Lakeisha, I'm in very center of Europe in Hungary, and I was supporting our company and our customers from here. And yes, it might be different for me. The market might be different to what you guys are experiencing over there in the United States. Um, so it was very end of August. I had a day off. Uh, and we were spending some time off with the family at one of our favorite lakes here in Hungary. So really kind of a summer holiday feeling when I got the call from the HR person telling me what's going on. On the other side, somewhere deep inside, we were expecting something like this to happen because of the previous happenings at the company, how they transitioned our business to a different company. But still, it was kind of a shock. Even that you're expecting that it can happen any day, that you're getting the notice, it was still kind of a shock. And it happening on a day when you are with your children enjoying your time off and ice cream at the lake. It's kind of well, what can I say? So yes, I was supposed to be the very first one to leave from our team, December the 2nd.
Yeah, I remember.
And it turned out that on our account, I ended up leaving as the last one, 22nd of February, due to some technical issues with the transition, with having my replacement. So the time was passing really quickly during the autumn. One morning you wake up and you say, okay, what do I do? How do I plan my next 3 months? The next day, okay, let's see. Let's see what life brings. Let's go ahead. Let's find something new. And then the third day, you wake up again. You don't even want to drink your coffee. I mean, literally, every second day I was deep down. And the other day I was cheered up because of my kids, because of my wife. Um, what do you do? We had a little bit of our mortgage left, so that was the first thing I got rid of. As you guys said, I was also smart enough to make some savings, especially the 12 months previous to the notice. I started to make preparations, and with that, of course, we paid our mortgage, so we cleaned our house because worst case scenarios, you always try to prepare for the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
What if I don't get a job for 6 months? Is the package going to be enough for those 6 months? I mean, conditions are different here in Europe compared to US. So I was really focusing on worst case scenario, while maybe I should have been more positive about this. As Lindsay, again, I also have to agree with you. This was happening for me and not against me. So I should have, and whoever is going to be listening to this video and this conversation, I really recommend that if you get into something like this, try to be as positive as possible, because you are wasting your time if you let yourself go deep down as I did. Then I got 2.5 extra months. So I gained some time to find a job. And this is what actually, and if I look back at it, it was happening for a reason. Because the company I'm at right now opened an office in Hungary as of 1st of February. So
Oh, wow.
if I was, yeah. So I'm within the 15 first employees, and we're gonna increase to 120 by the end of the year. So
Are they hiring?
Yeah.
yes, they are, but
Remote.
yeah. Yeah, it was an awesome thing, because in fact, beginning of this year, I started to post my notes that I'm looking for a job actively. Of course, I was trying to learn again how to write a CV, because for 20 years I didn't have to write a CV.
Yes.
So what are the trends today? And I got excited, like I was back at school again. I mean, exactly as you said, Jacqueline, I got out of the university. I immediately got a job, and since then I was not unemployed for a single day.
Right.
Oh, wow. That's good.
For 20
That's
years, not a
amazing.
single day out of work. So not even sick leave. And that's something I have to be proud of. I didn't take a single day of sick leave in my past 20 years, which is good.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
So I was trying a lot of things with my CV. I'm sure, Kenneth, you have a lot of advices and recommendation how to write a CV. I try to shape my CV for the position I'm applying. And at the end, it turned out that you shouldn't be really that worried. I just put everything in my CV that I gained all the knowledge from my past years, and actually that's what brought me to where I am today, because this company was looking for not beginners, newbies, people out of the school, but for they were looking for really experienced senior people, because of the starting of the company. And they really loved to see how much things I have touched in the past 20 years. And I didn't have to hide really anything, just expose all the things that I touched, because this way I got a very senior and a very advanced position today. And I'm really happy with much better conditions that I used to have. So
Amazing.
it's like a dream story. And I had a month of leave. I had a month,
Yeah.
free month with my family. So can I ask for more? So at the end, the story is very positive.
Yeah, I think it shows a big
Congratulations, Bella.
contrast between here.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you, guys.
congratulations, first of all. Yeah. But I think it does show a big contrast between, us here in the US and Europe, because I know that a few of our other colleagues that also were in Europe have also found employment. I think here in the US right now, with everything that's going on, our job market is just so incredibly tough. For
Mm,
every application we send in, every resume we send out, you have 100 plus other people sending out for the same job postings. The competition here is stiff, so that's why we're continuing to still look. So
mm.
what's everybody else currently doing? I mean, Bella, congratulations, I know you found a job. That's amazing. Lindsay, Jacqueline,
I
where are
started
you?
actually 1st of April. I started
Ah,
actually first
Did you?
last
okay.
week Tuesday. So
That
trainings,
was my last
trainings,
day and your first day. Wow.
trainings so far.
My last day was your first day. Isn't that
Yeah.
ironic? Well, I hope we all have the success that you have, or I mean, like Kenneth was saying, it's a totally different market here in the U.S. Obviously, I don't know what I'm not doing anything yet, Kenneth. I'm just kind of I adopted a new puppy. I don't know why I did that. My my son's birthday's coming up, Easter's coming up, so I'm kind of just focused this month on family and just clearing my mind and kind of see where next month takes me. Really, I'm going. Oh, I'm actually going for my PMP at the end of this month to
Good.
get my
Yeah.
certification. Yeah, so I wanted to do
That's
that and
smart.
get
That's
yeah
smart.
get a couple letters under behind my name. Yeah, seriously, it's a very intense test, but I figured now that I have the time to kind of study hard and hopefully I'll achieve it and accomplish it and pass it on the first try, and then this way when I go job hunting in May or June or whenever I decide to, I'll have a little extra, maybe hopefully a little extra help behind me.
Yeah. So, Lindsay, what's it looking like for you?
I'm not really sure if I want to enter back into corporate America. I've been toying with the idea of teaching
Oh,
because my priorities have changed. And I think maybe it might be nice to have more of a school day schedule because I have him now. So that's kind of in the back of my mind. I do like project management, but maybe this is my sign to start something different. So we'll see.
100% agree. And I think that's where, for me personally, I know that's exactly where I am, after 18 years of working with the company and loving the job that I was doing, I was suddenly thrust into a place where I was like, oh, what do I do next? What now? And, after settling into it and having the up and downs of emotions, I say to myself, getting laid off, although difficult, painful, and somewhat a slap in the face because of how it all happened. It was kind of one of the best things that could have happened because it put me on a new direction that I didn't think I would be on. So I think it's just important
I
for
hear that a
anybody that
lot from people that it's I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that that's the result for me as well. I don't know. Like, I'm so at a crossroads. Like, I just don't know. I'm hoping that once I find the new job or the new whatever it is, that I do reflect back on it and say, you know what, that was the best time or the best thing that happened. Right now, I'm scared.
I think we were all scared for a while as well. I'm still scared. I'll be very honest with you. I'm still scared. I still haven't found a job. So, I'm not, the only thing I'm relying on right now is my unemployment. So, and I'm grateful that I'm getting that. But I think I speaking for myself, I know I'm scared, and I'm sure a lot of people out there that are in this situation are scared. So, the only thing that we can do, which is why I'm glad we're having this conversation, is build that kind of community of support for each other. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about the team that we all worked on and the manager that we worked with is that we did build that community of mutual respect
100%.
for each other. And we all went through this journey together, and that helps with the support as we go through this. So, I think we'll have more of these kind of conversations going forward, and maybe try to get some of our other colleagues to join as well. But I think it's important for these kind of conversations to happen so that, so that we're here to support each other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Lindsay, Jacqueline, Bella, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to having you back anytime. Just let us know. And to our viewers, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Talk Time Life Unscripted. If today's conversation resonated with you, drop a comment below and share your own layoff experience. Just remember, you are not alone in this. Together, we can build a strong, supportive community and help each other move forward. Until next time, bye for now.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao. Miss you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Ciao, ciao.